This is the Georgia Farm Monitor. Since 1966, your source for state and national agribusiness news, and features for farmers and consumers about Georgia's #1 industry, agriculture. The Georgia Farm Monitor is produced by the state's largest general farm organization, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now, here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Burgamy.
Well, as promised, we are back. Last week, we told you we would see you again this week, and here we are.
That's right.
Hi again, folks. Thanks so much for tuning into the Georgia Farm Monitor. I'm Ray DeLessio.
And I'm Kenny Burgamy. Yes, our word is good as gold, and here's what else is good. Cotton. Coming up on today's program, Damon Jones explains its benefits and why there's an ongoing push to protect it under future farm bills. Also on the program, take a trip with us to Georgia's oldest operating packing house and see how Dickey Farms continues to take great pride in calling itself a family business.
And then later, we sit down with the CEO and principal of the Academy for Advanced Studies in Henry County and hear how high school students there are working towards a possible future in the world of agriculture. All this and more starting right now on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
While cotton is usually associated with the shirts, jeans, and socks people wear every day, that's only one part of the product being used. Damon Jones takes a look at how the cottonseed is also a valuable commodity and why it could help give the producers some protection under the Farm Bill.
With prices less than a third of what they were just 4 years ago, it's been a rough stretch for cotton producers around the U.S. And to make matters even worse, the new Farm Bill provides them with very little security.
Cotton was left out of Title I of the Farm Bill, and our industry has made some efforts to have cottonseed designated as a minor oil seed by USDA Secretary Vilsack.
While this is what most people think of when they think cotton, there is also the seed that is separated during the ginning process. Even though it might be overlooked, it's still a significant part of the plant.
Cotton poses maybe a challenge to USDA and others because it's a plant that you basically do get two products out of. At the end of, once cotton's ginned, you have the fiber and you have the seed. Seed account for somewhere around 20% of a producer's return from his cotton crop, and many things are made out of it.
Early in the 1900s, all cottonseed was crushed and used for cooking oil. However, a number of factors have reduced the amount used for that purpose.
But in the last 20 years or so, we've seen a tremendous change where the onset of competing oil seeds for crush has increased, and the cotton seed has a growing market and as fed to dairies. So the crushing industry is kind of getting hit by both sides.
The fact that it has major value in its raw state for dairymen is the main reason for the drop in cottonseed oil production.
The primary market for it right now is for livestock feed, particularly for dairy cattle. When used in a dairy cattle ration, it helps increase the butter fat of the milk, which increases returns to dairymen.
The feed side has been a pretty good industry for cottonseed now, and generally speaking, in a very general way, now only about a third of the U.S. cottonseed is crushed, whereas about 2/3 now goes to the feed as a feed ingredient.
However, that is still a significant portion being used as oil, which is why those in the industry believe it should still be protected by the government.
It's the original feed. It's the original oil seed, the original one. And to not include the original oil seed into the Farm Bill is kind of puzzling to those of us in the industry.
Reporting from Tifton, I'm Damon Jones for the Georgia Farm Monitor.
All right, Damon, thank you very much. In other news and notes, with planting season now in full swing, it begs the question, is your farm machinery in tip-top shape? If not, maybe a little tune-up is in order. Not to mention, you could also be saving yourself some money in fuel costs. A recent study by the University of Maryland Extension found that a complete tune-up of your tractors and farm equipment could reduce fuel consumption by nearly 15%. The study also found that routine maintenance could increase your horsepower by as much as 11%. Now, meantime, over the course of its near 50-year history, the Monitor has visited Dickey Farms in Musella on a number of occasions, specifically to talk about peach production.
Yeah, our most recent visit, however, was to welcome the 5th generation to their Central Georgia operation.
What looks like a movie set in Hollywood is the charming community of Musella, Georgia, less than 90 miles south of Atlanta. It's where Robert Dickey first built the peach packing shed 80 years ago this year with lumber off of his own land. In just a few weeks, this spot will be busy with customers stopping for peaches and peach products from Georgia's oldest continuously operated packing house. But before that happens, preparations have to be made. Lee Dickey just joined the family business, proud to be a 5th generation to the thriving peach industry in Georgia.
You know, really, I'd say that for the first year or two, it'll be just a lot of learning and just really learning the growing and the farming aspect of the business and really understanding that, and because that's just so important.
After graduating Georgia State University, he spent several years working in the field of accounting in Atlanta.
I started my career in accounting and then spent about 6 or 7 years in finance in Atlanta. And, you know, really this is where my heart is, and I grew up down here, and so coming back in the last month or so is really just, you know, kind of hadn't skipped a beat really, and just it's been great being around family and working in the business. So
Lee said he's come to realize it takes hard work year-round to prepare for great peaches.
You know, what people don't always realize is the spring is so busy as well. We came through here about a few weeks ago thinning the branches, and so we'll shaping up the trees so that they can, you know, produce the right amount of fruit, and we'll come through here in the next few weeks and thin everything and really take out peaches so we can grow great big good sweet Georgia peaches.
When I asked Lee why he decided to return to the family farm, he told me he had always thought about coming home to be part of the family tradition.
It's just so important. You know, they love this, they love the business, and it's so important. The people, the customers, everybody that comes just makes it all so special, and I can just see how much they care about the product, and just continuing that on just means a lot to me as well.
And we asked him to give us a preview into this year's crop.
We were very far behind in December and January, and the last part of January and February proved to be pretty cold and really caught us up. We're not quite where we'd like to be, but certainly not way behind as we were. So we're hopeful. We won't quite know till we see the peaches, but we're hopeful that we got enough.
Stay with us. When the Monitor continues, Ray visits the Academy for Advanced Studies in Henry County and learns how students there are gearing up for a possible career in the ag industry. Last week, we introduced you to Casey Cox, the Executive Director of Flint River Soil and Water Conservation, who was kind enough to share her story about her love for the Flint River and the family farm in Mitchell County, which she hopes to one day manage. Today, her father tells us why he believes Casey is ready to do just that, manage a 1,200-acre operation.
My name is Glenn Cox. This is our place. We're the 5th generation on this place. My family came here in the 1840s, and they lived through a tough time. We've lived off the land right from the very beginning, even during the Depression, when agriculture was such a low spot. They lived off the river, they lived off the land, and my grandfather was innovative as well as my father. My grandfather brought tobacco into this area before anybody else did. My father started one of the very first shooting preserves, commercial shooting preserves in the country. In a place like this, there's not really a national history to it, but there's a personal history that you learn, that you grow up with. Every generation is different, and you get to see it change over the years. And now I'm about ready to give it to my daughter, because she's an only child, and I think it's past time to let young ladies start running operations like this. There's nothing wrong with their ability to run it. I feel blessed. I mean, beyond blessed. And whenever somebody comes out and complains, they need to take a look around them, not just this place, but where they are, be grateful for what God's blessed them with, because I come out here and look around these big pine trees and go down the river and see that, and animals everywhere. It's life that most people just dream about, you know, going to national parks and seeing things. To me, I don't want to ever take it for granted. The only thing that I want to make sure that my wife is part of it, because it would not, this place, she's been behind me every step of the way. It's a partnership. Without my wife helping me along every step of the way, I probably wouldn't have succeeded as well as we have.
Moving on now, in May of 2015, USDA released a study showing the incredible demand for college graduates with a degree in agricultural programs. In fact, it is estimated there are close to 58,000 high-skilled job openings annually in the food, agriculture, renewable natural resources, and environment fields in the United States. It's numbers like this that make programs such as the Academy for Advanced Studies in Henry County so important. As a school administrator and product of the farm, John Easler knows the value of both an education and agriculture. That's why, according to Easler, his role as the CEO and principal of the Academy for Advanced Studies is a dream come true.
I come from a small farm in southern Indiana. Agriculture is in my blood. I worked in industry for 7 years before I decided I wanted to be a teacher, and when I became a teacher, I became an ag teacher. And because I realized the impact that it could have. Every single thing that we do is touched by the agriculture industry.
And here at the Academy, area high school students are given hands-on experiences and lessons in what could someday lead to a career in agriculture. And one of the primary areas they're focusing on at the Academy is veterinary science.
That's a huge interest area for our students, and lots of people have pets. So we're trying to expose the students to what that means, and we're trying to give them some basic understanding. Is this something that you really want to pursue once you get out? We do a little bit of horticulture here. We're going to hopefully expand on that in the future, but to help them understand plant production and how a plant thrives, and the importance of plants in the community, and in your home, on your own lot, or as a whole, is very, very important.
Other programs at the Academy include metal fabrication and culinary arts. There's even a partnership with Georgia Power where students learn about energy and get to make their own ethanol. And soon, a new partnership with Austell-based Yancey Brothers, the state's largest Caterpillar dealer.
We're hoping to start the first diesel technology program in a high school in the state of Georgia. There's not even a curriculum, so we're working on developing that curriculum. And they need people to be able to work on their large equipment, and they need them to be able to do everything, not just do work on the engine, but they need to be able to work on the hydraulics and the motor controls, and they need to be able to weld, and they need to be able to, so combining all that together is very, very important. Business and industry are telling us that they're scared of what the future holds for them as far as a qualified workforce, particularly when you get into the skilled areas. And you know, that partnership with us hopefully gets these young people excited about some of those opportunities, and will help push them down those paths so that they, whenever their big retirement wave hits, they're going to have young people that are following in right behind them.
Technically speaking, the Academy is a program and not a school. So area students graduate with their peers at what Academy administrators call their home schools or partner schools. And with 10 area high schools in Henry County, one can't argue with the impact the Academy is making. Now in its third year, the program's graduation rate in 2015, a whopping 99%.
I want every student to go on to some form of college, but I'm trying to redefine what college means. Yeah, it's great that a lot of students go to a 4-year college and get a bachelor's degree, but when only 30-something% of all jobs out there require a 4-year degree, what a disservice we would do if every single student went out there and got a 4-year degree. But with 70 to 80% of all jobs requiring some form of post-secondary education, whether it be a trade school, a technical college, an apprenticeship program, the military, we're trying to redefine what college means for the students, and these students need to understand that there are a lot of high-paying jobs in the agriculture industry that don't require a 4-year degree but require high skill and make good money. If we can help the students understand that, that's very, very important.
Yeah, pretty cool program. And if you'd like more information about the Academy for Advanced Studies, they do have a Facebook page as well as a website. On them, you will find a description of all they offer. You can also call the number you see there on your screen. That is 770-320-7997.
A new initiative is providing a one-stop source for farm safety information to those that matter most, your children. American Farm Bureau's Jessica Wharton has the story.
A coalition of more than 70 universities from every state in the union is backing a major effort to make farms safer places to work and live. Extension.org's Safety in Agriculture for Youth project puts in one place a wide range of farm safety and health information any farm or ranch can use. American Farm Bureau Director of Congressional Relations, Christy Boswell, says providing timely information is vital.
Safety in agriculture is always very important and has been a focus for American Farm Bureau in making sure that our members have resources to make sure that employees and youth and everyone on our farms are safe and trained in doing all sorts of tasks on the farm.
The USDA-funded grant project includes a wide range of different curriculums, programs, and learning activities.
We've recently released a clearinghouse of all of these educational resources. The goal is to be kind of the one-stop shop for anyone needing information about farm safety.
Boswell says the clearinghouse is a tool for farmers, ranchers, students, educators, and Farm Bureau members alike.
Safety has always been a priority for American Farm Bureau, and recently we've put our heads together here and making sure we have more centralized locations for our members to turn to. We have done that on our website, and we've also now, in this project, been a steering committee member in putting this together.
Farm safety information can be found at www.fb.org or at extension.org/say. Jessica Wharton, Washington.
Ready or not, it's peanut butter jelly time at the state capitol. After the break, the Georgia Peanut Commission on why this event is always a crowd favorite.
A crop that took 5 years to grow comes down in minutes, courtesy of this powerful machine. But in this harvest, the plants are taller than your usual agricultural product, 40 feet in some instances. A 10-acre stand of hybrid poplar trees, planted in 2011, is cut and made into chips. Call it short rotation forestry.
It's important for us to have really a portfolio of crops of this cellulosic biomass.
Dr. Tim Riles is director of UT's Center for Renewable Carbon. The CRC's mission is to develop new processes that convert wood and crops into fuels, chemicals, and other materials. This poplar forest offers a glimpse of the future and a possibility for Tennessee landowners. Just 1 acre of these trees could produce 6 to 7 tons per year of woody biomass products.
You know, one of the appeals of poplar and woody crops is maybe a flexibility aspect to it. So certainly they could be directed or redirected to pulp and paper or other kinds of products with simple changes in spacing and other management approaches.
This harvest is part of a 5-year, $15 million research effort funded by the USDA. Numerous partners are involved with UT's Center for Renewable Carbon, among them Genera Energy with a facility in Von Orr. That's where the harvested biomass will go. Researchers collected yield data here, and now samples from the harvested poplars will be further analyzed in CRC and Genera labs to gauge the crop's usefulness for industry. Leaders of this project say there's a need to find multiple sources of biomass that we can grow in Tennessee and the region.
You know, when we started, everything was focused very much on biofuels, and that's still the case today. But we've also seen a lot of growth in biopower and bioproducts and those types of things as well. And so understanding the supply chain of a variety of crops, a variety of sources of biomass is very important.
The day is likely coming when Tennessee farmers and landowners will help grow our fuel, our power, our energy. The goal is to have a bio-based economy instead of one dependent on petroleum. And it's even better if we can grow that supply in just a few years. This is Charles Denny reporting.
Finally today, all is quiet under the Gold Dome in Atlanta after the Georgia legislative session recently came to an end.
But before lawmakers could leave town, the Georgia peanut industry got an opportunity to highlight the impact Georgia peanuts have on the state's economy and to contribute to a very worthy cause. The Monitor's Mark Wildman has the report.
Every year, lawmakers and their staff look forward to the day the peanut industry comes to Atlanta. The south wing of the Capitol is filled with the great smell of grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, served up by Tyron Spearman, fried peanuts served up by Georgia Peanut Commission's Don Kaler, and many other tasty products to highlight Peanut Butter and Jelly Day at the Capitol.
March is peanut month, so it's a great day here, and you see all the exhibitors we have here giving out peanut products, peanut crackers, peanuts, boiled peanuts, and also Kroger's here. We have everything that you would need so far as it being a great day for each of them to eat. So Peanut Butter Month of March is a great time here in Georgia.
Georgia peanuts are very important to the state, and it is important for lawmakers and others in Atlanta to realize how a peanut grown in South Georgia can help the entire state.
When we talk about our state's economy, peanuts make over $1 billion a year contribution to our state annually. We're very proud of that. And of course in Georgia we like to be #1 in everything, and peanuts is something that we're #1 in. We produce 57% of the peanuts that are produced in the United States, and we produce half the peanuts that are exported, and that's very important as we strive to keep a positive balance of trade.
Well, we hope that they learn a lot about peanuts, the great attributes, all the vitamins and minerals that's in peanuts, resveratrol. It is a healthy diet. They can always snack on peanut butter. It's good for our children, too, when they come home from school.
Not only did the public get to enjoy good food, but many families in the metro Atlanta area will benefit from a generous gift given to the Atlanta Community Food Bank. Peanut butter is a perfect food to help families in need, and the industry is happy to step up when needed.
10,080 jars, over 100,000, almost 150,000 meals. So that's exciting, and it's food that they can eat and keep for a long time in their pantry or eat it whenever they'd like. So it's great for the food bank.
It means the world to us. We have a network of over 600 partner agencies that are dealing with the public with hunger and poverty issues. They get food from us in a 29-county area, feeding over 60,000 people a week. And in this state, 1 in 4 children are food insecure. And as most people know, peanut butter is such a great source of protein. And one jar can make several meals for a family. So this is a vital donation for us, and it's going to feed a lot of people throughout our community.
The Atlanta Community Food Bank not only works hard to feed Georgians, but works hard to build partnerships like the one they have with the peanut industry.
These partnerships are absolutely vital to our communities here, because this is actually peanuts and peanut butter coming straight from Georgia farmers going to feed other Georgians, and they're vital to help our communities and eat nutritious product as well. So we are so very, very grateful for this donation.
So the next time you pick up a jar of peanut butter, you can take comfort knowing that the peanut producers contribute greatly to our economy and to those in need. For the Georgia Farm Monitor, I'm Mark Wildman.
All right, Mark, thank you, sir. That is going to do it for this week's edition of the Georgia Farm Monitor.
Just a reminder, for all the latest ag info regarding food, great recipes, and what's happening down on the farm, be sure and check out our Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest pages. You'll stay informed and see what's up in the world of farming and on the Farm Monitor Show.
Take care, everybody. We will see you next week right here on the Georgia Farm Monitor.
We leave you today with a look at something us Southerners look forward to every spring, the blooming azaleas. Take care, everybody.